our first mahi-mahi.
We go diving for our dinner.
Woo! There's a couple of good ones.
We show you how to fillet a fish.
We check out of the Bahamas and raise the quarantine flag.
I keep on wondering if I'm okay. I reassure myself, but I keep on wondering away. I miss looking at you, and you miss looking at me. Amid distractions, I can find myself missing my sea, where I can go swim with the fish.
We are heading to Long Island today, and then we've got a big day tomorrow. I'm going to try and sail for about 10 to 12 hours, and we're going to head to the Cook and Ackland Islands, and then there's supposedly a big front coming in 25-30 knots. It's going to last for about 3 days. So we're going to hide in the Cook and Acklands on the shallow, on the flats, and then, I don't know, we'll just see what happens from there. There's a little island called Mayaguana. It's supposed to be beautiful. We might stop there for one night because it's calm. And then the next one, Turks and Caicos. We've got a 7-day stay in the Turks and Caicos, and then we have to leave, otherwise pay a big visa. So we're going to the Dominican Republic. So we have got an action-packed week. We're going to be absolutely flat out for the next 10 to 12 days. But we cannot wait to bring you guys a story because this is going to be good fun.
The big boss.
Put a safety lanyard on her.
We met a few people here. Here it's Horizon 360. A very nice Canadian couple. Abel went fishing with them yesterday. They caught like 1 fish and 4 crayfish, and we had a dinner with them last night by Horizon 360, and was very nice to meet you.
Well, as expected, we're motoring. We knew that. We've got 5 knots on the nose, and we are trolling some lures. A couple of little skirted tuna lures. Looking for a mahi, a tuna, a mackerel, anything that we can eat, we'll be stoked with. We just got a double hook up on dolphin fish. He just hit that one, and then the other one went off as well. One of them's dropped off, and we've still got him on. We have not caught a dolphin fish on Yeho yet, so this is all time. All right, woo! Got our first mahi-mahi, also known as the dolphin fish. He took both lures, smacked the starboard rigger one first, and then popped onto the port side lure. We just got him, not massive, perfect for us, just enough fridge space for him. We're gonna be eating mahi for a week. And put the sails up and everything, awesome, yeah!
Freedom to be whoever I wanna be, see whatever I wanna see.
Well, Len's just making us some dinner, and in the process making some chili oil, and then as she's discarding our vegetable scraps, she accidentally threw our beautiful hot chili overboard, and and it looks like we may have lost it forever. Let's see if she can come up with the goods. Did you find it? She's got it! Yes! Success?
The only thing left. Like, the fish probably eat everything, but they don't like chili, lucky us.
Good job! That's a win. Chili makes all the difference. Well, that is homemade buns, our mahi-mahi we caught yesterday, homemade chips. Now for this, in the restaurant that we're anchored off here, they wanted $36 US. So we came home and made it ourselves. We've knocked it up and we're about to eat it, and we are pumped.
On our way to the next destination. 6 o'clock in the morning, crunching into the sea.
We've We've just got dolphins surrounding our boat. They're absolutely everywhere, and Ellen's been sitting on the bow for about 15 minutes. And they are just loving it. They're just playing around in our bow wake. We are here in the Crooked Ackerlands. We're on the Crooked Island at the moment, and we're currently looking for a location to hide añejo from a pretty decent sized storm headed our way. The storm looks like it's going to be really slow moving and hang around for about 3 to 4 days, gusting 35 knot winds and sitting anywhere up to 25 as an average for 3 days. So that's a fair bit of wind for us to think about.
We used the calm before the storm wisely and checked out the beautiful scenery at the Crooked Island.
Absolutely amazing, crystal clear waters. You can see why fly fishermen from all around the world come here to go fly fishing, because the flats here are incredible. Because there is miles and miles of sand flats and there is fish all over them. It's absolutely beautiful. About as big as you want to shoot them.
A consideration when shooting any reef species is not to shoot anything too large, due to the fish poisoning called ciguatera. Ciguatera is a foodborne illness caused by eating reef fish whose flesh is contaminated with certain toxins.
There are some of the biggest we've found here in the Bahamas, that's for sure.
Lucky for us, today's catch is clear. Now let's show you how to prepare it.
Easiest way is to grab the body. You basically just grab the tail and you twist and rotate. You'll feel it pull out, and then you'll end up having your lobster tail. Now this is where all your meat of your lobster is inside. In Australia they're known as crayfish. This depends on how you want to do it. Best way we find, you take yourself a knife, straight down the middle, spin it around. You can crack them like that. And if you want to slice them all the way down, you can put them straight onto the barbecue. If you want to keep the meat, then you basically want to get yourself a really sharp knife, slice up inside here, but basically cut yourself around the shell, like that, both sides, like that. And then you'll be able to pull yourself out all your meat.
Our little bag of crayfish.
To me, there's so much meat in that, it's worth keeping. I've already pulled one antenna off and you can see how much meat's inside there. So there's no point throwing it out because you can eat all of that. Straight on the barbecue, cook it, crack it, whatever you want to do, there's plenty to eat. Okay, so when you want to fillet your fish, there's lots of techniques. This is my way. You angle it behind the gills here, right up into the top of his head. You can spin him around. Continue coming down, right down to here, and then I'll just slide the knife up his belly, and then right down his tail, spin him back around, and you want to make your next incision along the top. So you come from the top of his head where you've made your last one, slide your knife down. Okay, so you've got incisions all the way around, then you just get your knife, the backbone there, and you can see the bones here. Get in there, angle that last cut off. And you can start getting a little bit deeper. Continue to work down all the way like this. And this is the bit that I struggle with the most, that rib cage area. So that ends up being your fillet. That's obviously where the rib cage was, which is here. And you can see that I didn't miss anything because the knife is there. All your bones are here. There's no flesh at all missing. We can take the skin off for you as well. I'll slice down right down to the skin, and then I'll angle the knife away from me and start sliding up. And I always leave a little tiny handle like the last little bits there. And I'm pulling the skin towards me and pushing the knife away.
Wow.
So you should end up with your skin. So that's how I fill it. The last thing that I normally do is I will cut down the fish into 3 or 4 portions. I'll pull out all the guts, just the frame and the head, and I'll put it in a pot and I'll make a stock out of it. But just so you see how we do it, that's it. This is our crayfish and fish expedition and how we prepare it, and we might even show you what we make with it. This is the 6 antennas from the 3 biggest crays, just the fat stem part, and I've cooked them, cut them up, put them in some garlic and some butter, and we're having a wrap. All right. Well, we just come ashore here. The storm should arrive tomorrow. We've got one last walk on land while we're going to be boat bound for about 4 days after that. It's the last sunset before the rains arrive, I believe. Oh, the storm is coming. She's coming. We just pulled the boat around. We're in a really deep little gutter, which is great for anchorage, but the worst part is that it's very tidal. So the tide at the moment is ripping in, so the boat is not even facing into the wind. With the wind against tide, it caused us to swing around all over the place. Our snubbers twisted and scrubbed our chain against our hull. There wasn't much we could do. The wind sat anywhere between 25 and 35 knots for the entire 3 days. Okay, the storm looks like it's past us. We had about 35 knots of wind as our maximum. Well, not too bad. Wind at 35 knots is absolutely fine, but where we're sitting, wind against tide, is an absolute nightmare. Never want to do it again. We just got stuck and we had no option. The storm has moved its way up north and we're just getting the tail end of it now. It looks like it's calmed itself down and we can keep moving this afternoon, fingers crossed. Even though the wind and the storm had passed, the residual swell continued to roll through. The further east we went, we chased down the storm.
Currently at the custom, it's time for us to check out of the Bahamas and let's go to Turks and Caicos.
You ready to leave?
I am.
Turks and Caicos tomorrow?
Turks and Caicos, we need food.
Freedom to be whoever I wanna be. See whatever I wanna see. Breathe the air that I wanna breathe. Feels like my life is a dream, where I don't need you to believe in me, 'cause all I feel brand new.
Big thanks to all our YouTube subscribers, Instagram followers, and of course our patrons. We cannot thank you enough. If you too would like to support us, head over to patreon.com and search Taking the Chance.
No, we are stone minds full of jungle.